Well, today I'm going to take a shot that was, you can see kind of this is the sort of the production quality we've been looking at. And this is an older shot that needs some work. So I'm going to go ahead and, just because I'm in the mood to do so, I'm going to have fun redrawing it. Just kind of working out the acting a bit. Spontaneously, you might say. Alright. Now, this pretty closely matches the bad version of it, but I need to double check this against the good version. Yeah, it's in the zone. Got a little bit of a puffy thing here on his hair, so. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so basically the revised versions of this guy have tended to have a little bit thicker mustache or goatee situation. So now Mr. Big has kind of like this. Okay, and I'm just going to turn this on, line that up the center, just so we get the shoulder width correct on this guy. Okay, I think that'll work. Mr. Raindrop falling away from me now. So you're probably going, what's that? Well, I've got episodes of Gintama playing in the background here, and in season 1, not too far into the season, they changed the show ending, and it was this song, Mr. Raindrop falling away from me now. So yeah, I was just kind of, oh, I know what's missing here. There we go. That's Mr. Big. Okay, let me double check his dialogue. Alright. So if he says he's had a little bit of poison, I'm afraid. Let's see how long that would take to say. Poison, I'm afraid. Boom. Let's cut to Akari there. So what I'm going to do is go Control Insert, and then at 48, I'm going to go. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go Insert. Okay, and then so she's going to be like, and then boom here. So what I'm going to do here is take this shot, blow it up, and let me make a slight mod to it. We're going to find out that Mr. Big is not the diplomatic sweetheart he pretends to be. Okay. So now if we come back here, what would this be? It would be not the eraser. Okay. Squarish jaw. Squarish jaw. Okay, let's just turn this on. Nope, too high. Alright, we'll just draw this little shape here, and then we'll turn this off. Get the hair texture, if you will. Alright, I'm going to say this needs to move out just a little bit here. Okay. It'll be fine. Okay. So actually I need to modify the length of our animation too. Let's go to 160 for lack of a better idea. And what shot is this? This would be 70. So file, save as, anime Krita 0070. Is there one already? No, there isn't, so that's good. Okay, so he says he's had a bit of poison, I'm afraid. Oh, he'll be fine as long as he receives the antidote. That works. So by staging it that way, kind of allows me to keep most of the focus on the dialogue and the acting and the staging, as opposed to getting tied up in actually animating. Now that might sound like a chimpy thing to want to do, but the reality is with anime, I have a proclivity to over-animate. I have a definite tendency to do more than I actually need to in terms of motion, instead of letting the, as I say, letting the staging and the dialogue do more of the work. So okay, so now I'm just looking on my other screen to compare her. Okay, I think that, I guess what we're going to do here, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and redo that, because really it's more like this, and it's got a little bit more of a vertical push. And then I think what I'll do, I'm just thinking about the expression here. I think, yeah, that should have a couple keys so that it basically vibrates. Right? So that's what we're trying to accomplish. So, not too bad. That got us through the, blocking in the whole shot. It's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and ink these guys. Let's just get the inking done. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a little experiment. I'm going to add a little bit of color to the ink, which I haven't done before. I'm just going to see how it goes. Okay, stop. I'm in the wrong layer there, fella. Okay, file, save. And I actually think maybe having a slight bit more color would be nice. So the reason I wanted to do this today is because, frankly, more often than not, when I just start from scratch, pull out my pencil, and, you know, have fun with it, I tend to do better work. I just do. It's like my philosophy has sort of become there really is no downside to redoing a shot. There really isn't. Any time spent drawing is good time because you're learning, hopefully you're improving things, you're making distinctions in your mind that sort of equip you to do an even better job next time. So now I'm going up here, looking at, okay, so he does not have any kind of a, like he doesn't have anything like that, right? So, okay. So now, boom, boom. What I'm not going to do is put in the mouth at this point. We got a slightly mocking tone to his expression. I didn't like that. Boom. Okay. Let's pull out and see if... I think that'll work. RV. Okay. B. Alright. Stop. I want to go E key. So we're not in eraser mode. Whoops. Gosh, I guess I stroked that too fast because the tablet couldn't keep up. That's funny. I don't think that's happened before. Okay. So now there's a little bit we could criticize here, and this is kind of my fault because I was really zoomed in a bit too far when I drew it, but that's better. Okay. Alright. Control Shift Insert, which I have set up as a hotkey. It forces that track now to be in the timeline. So Control Insert there to set a key for that, and then Insert. And I'm going to go ahead and redraw Mr. Big here. So let's just go ahead and do that, as opposed to copying and resizing it with the free transform tool. Basically, I want to keep more of a spontaneous hand-drawn feeling here. So sometimes leverage is a good thing. Honestly, more often than not, it's not. Which has been one of the biggest things I've been surprised to learn working on animation, is that the things that you think are going to speed you up and save you time actually usually wind up costing you time. Wind up taking longer. Leverage is a very seductive concept that often disappoints in practice. So if you go back and watch my videos from a year ago or something, when I was earlier in the process of doing animation, you're probably going to hear me talk a lot about leverage as if it was always a good thing. And that's what's made doing animation fun, is it's been a real education. Boom. Okay, a little bit of bags under the eyes. Alright, and now this probably should be about like that. And I think that'll do the trick. Alright, so now let's go back to Akari. And for this, we will go ahead and turn on the symmetry tool. What's it called in Krita? Horizontal mirroring. Alright, boom, boom, boom. So I must say that the thing I'm learning today that I'm finding interesting here as I'm actually doing this is that even the ink and paint is more fun to do when I just do it spontaneously, as I'm doing here. Now, will the final result be better or worse? That I don't know. That I'm not sure about. Okay, so yeah, we're going to definitely have two versions of this drawing. I wonder if I should just, let's see here. So I'm thinking, let's use the, whoops, let's just use this. Okay, just to see what that looks like, I'm going to put in 3 of them right here. Okay. And as you can see, that's worthless. Now that's, I mean, the concept is okay. Just the way I did it was not good. Okay. Let's just do it this way. Let's hit. Okay. So here we've got, yeah, so it's nice you can select some frames and just, okay. Not so sure about the mouth. It seems like the mouth's moving more than it should. Come on. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is actually rethink it this way. I'm going to go, okay. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and take the mouth off of both of these. And then what I think I want to do is make the expression somewhat different. Okay, so now the way to handle this usually would be something like this. Control C. Go here, hit Control V. And okay. Let's see here. So layer 3, Control Shift Insert. Layer 4. Okay, this is what I was trying to do. Not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it this way. Okay, and Control E, and let's just see if that worked. Okay, so yeah, now I have 2 versions of the mouth here. And okay, why is it? Sure not very exact, is it? Alright, we'll go with that, just for kicks and giggles. Too much. As I said, it's... Oh, come on. So this is kind of disappointing. What I'm finding here is that the precision here, I mean, these are the settings I've been using forever. And it's just... Alright, hopefully that did the trick. Hate to belabor it, but... I think I'm going to leave the motion in her eyes. Okay, so that's that. File, save. Okay, so now I need some reference material for Mr. Big, so I'm going to go Alt Print Screen on Blender, and then go Control V, and there it is. So that's perfectly fine. So sample that and kill that. So now we need to take the sketch, turn it off, and create a paint layer. Boom, baby. Okay, we don't need that on. Whoops. Fill tool. Okay. And let's hit Control Insert here. And let's hit Insert here. Insert here. Okay, now that is... I should have seen that coming. That's my bad. So I'm going to go into the ink layer, which we better start labeling things because I'm getting to be a little bit sloppy here. Okay, so let's go here and just say, well, okay, that was dumb, but it's not the biggest tragedy in the world. We will just correct it like so. Yeah, a little bit of a hassle that I even had to do that, but I just kind of sort of think that the world is going to keep on turning. So there's that. Go into the paint layer, fill tool without erasing on. Duh. Alright, now since we are going to add color correction after the fact, I can just go in and manually color the dude's eyes. So like I said, the final result cut into the show may actually be inferior. I don't know. I'm not going to sweat it at this point. Okay, so Mr. Big's hair is essentially charcoal-ish. Boom. Okay, that'll work. Boom, boom, boom. And that'll work. And now we're going to go for a gold-ish color. Boom. Boom. Got a little hand painting there we got to do. No problem. No problem at all. Fill that. Alright, and then in the ink layer we can just do a little erasing here. Alright, and now we're going to come around and add this burgundy for Mr. Big's outfit, his robe. Okay. So, the only thing I'm thinking here is we kind of are missing a little bit of expressive pencil work, you might say. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a shadow layer. Shadows, baby. Okay, and now here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Insert, Insert, Insert. Presumably these two frames of Akari should be able to have identical identical shading. Okay, so Mr. Big is in fact facing into the light, so we're going to give him sort of a rim shadowing going on. And I'm just going to kind of pick this up a bit and okay. Do we let that bleed into his beard? I think maybe. Boom. Boom. Okay, so let's turn this down and kind of see what we have. Okay, so now clearly consistent with what we've done in the past, we do want to shade Mr. Big's eyes like so. And we also like to put a little bit of a shading situation around his hairline. I think that'll work. Let's go up here. Okay, so yeah, actually one thing that's missing here, let's use this brush. That little bit of the old wrinkle action going on. So yeah, this brush gives us a little bit more of a ability to vary the thickness as we press harder. Yeah, so I don't really mind the shading bleeding into his beard there. I think that actually looks pretty decent. Okay. Nice. Let me see what we have back here. If there's anything I seem to be glaringly missing. Oh yeah, there is. Under his nose. Okay. Alright, Akari. Let's go ahead and give you some flesh tone in the paint department. And, gosh, I really need to get some reference material here. So file, save. Not for her skin, but certainly for her hair and eyes. So I'm going to go to my... you know what? I'm just going to drag this image in here as a new layer. Perfect. Grab that color. Push that up top. Turn it off. And let's go into the paint layer again. Fill, fill, fill. Fill. Alright. Fortunately, this color right here is the color of her irises. Whoops. So that makes it a little bit easy-ish. Alright, and now fill, fill. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Fill, fill. Okay. And I guess her teeth would be kind of useful to color in as well, right? Okay, so now let's go to the shadow layer. Black as usual. And we'll just kind of do what we normally do. Keep it on the loose side. It's not always the right choice. You know, but I have to say part of the challenge with this show has been sort of finding the style, you know, that we're really kind of going after. I prefer a looser style. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do something that I've started doing lately that I had virtually never done in the past, which is rotate my canvas. I have found it is actually quite useful. And then you just hit the 5 key. So the 4 key, I'm guessing these are 15-degree increments. And the 6 key goes this way, and 5 key restores it. So there you go. Alright, so now I'm also going to, right here on the shadow layer, put in some nice loose, okay, you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go here, here, here. I'm just going to keep repeating this. Okay, so file, save. Okay, and we're going to go with MOUTH, mouth. Alright, and for Mr. Big, let's just go ahead and insert a key to start out with. And let's save our work. Oh yeah, there's one thing actually in the shadow layer. I just thought of this. Mr. Big is supposed to have sort of some indicators of graying in his hair. So let's just respect the plan and get that in there. And again, as you can see, I'm doing it a little scribbly. I'm definitely doing that on purpose. I'm trying not to be too meticulous about sharp, crisp, overly polished art. I'm really not. Yeah, I'm in the shadow layer, that's right. Okay, so now one thing here in the shadow layer that I want to really take a hard look at, let's save our work, is, okay, what's wrong here? I want to go here and here. There we go. I want to have some shadowing on her eyes, and frankly, I think her eyes need a bit more work. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can add a little bit of something this way. And let's see, N key. So that's the actual size. Yeah, and I can see one other thing here in the shadow layer that we need to do. Let's go ahead and get some shading around Akari's ears. And probably some indication of her nose would be kind of useful. Okay. Save. And now let's go to his mouth. Okay, so his line is, he's had a bit of poison, I'm afraid. Alright, let's just go loosey-goosey here. He's... Okay, so now what we're going to do is... Alright, and I'm just putting this on 4s. Yeah, that's not quite working. Get that in the right position. It's tricky. I want this here. He's had a bit of poison, I'm afraid. Okay. So now as you can see, everything is happening way too freaking fast. Oh, come on. So I was kind of incorrect on the whole. I guess technically you'd say these are on 5s. No, that's 4s. 3 in between. Yeah, that's it. He's had a bit of poison, I'm afraid. Okay. And here we'll hit the insert button. Okay. Let's actually solo this. Sorry. Solo the mouth in behind mode and fill it with white. Okay, so now I'm going to go down. Okay. Excuse me, I just removed my headset so that I could sneeze. By gum and by golly. Fill. Yep. Okay, now unsolo that. Typically I make the mouths just a little bit lighter. Although since I kind of did some color matching here, maybe I don't need to. Make it a little bit transparent. Okay, so now I'm going to go through here, and what I want to do is actually add a very, very little bit of shading. Okay, of course if you change brushes you lose the benefit of the opacity setting that you just did. So yep. You don't want to lift up your pen, because if you do, see, it double darkens when you press it down again. That's the disadvantage or advantage, depending on how you look at it, of doing the opacity in the brush as opposed to in the layers. But yeah, just wanted to get the little bit of that under the lip action going on. Okay, let's just back up. And well, yeah, I definitely don't like this. Let me seems like I got a little sloppy there. Okay. And by the way, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and backfill that with a little bit more shadowing. Okay, not too bad. How long have we been going here? Let me see. Yeah, 40 minutes. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, people. Okay. File, save. Alright, I'm just going to go to the mouth here and I'm going to add an O. Okay, so actually let's get that color and just slightly darker. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Insert. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Ooh, it'll be fine. Yeah, that works. And let's skip a little ahead. And let's save our work, by the way. Insert. Provide. Now I realize these shapes are very similar. Okay. So I believe he's supposed to say, "Oh, he'll be fine, provided he gets the antidote in time." See, that worked. It just seems like when you put the lip sync on 4s like that, it just always seems to work. So I'm not really so concerned about getting a lot of tooth action in this sequence. Okay, but what I do want to do is turn my opacity down and do exactly what I did before, which is, nope, darn it, I always turn down the opacity and then remember to switch brushes. It's crazy how I do that so consistently. Okay, so now again, we want to keep this pretty simple. I'm learning here, folks. I'm learning to keep it simple. It's quick and it looks good. That one I don't like so much. Okay, so let's just redo it. Take it out of eraser mode. No, I still don't like that either, but I do like that slight curvature. I think I'll do. Okay, I think that worked. File, save. Okay, and so we're actually almost done here. We're just gonna have to whip on some backgrounds. Okay, and I want to extend it out another 20 frames. Actually, even more, 40. I want to make it 200 because I want to give Mr. Big plenty of time to gloat there at the end. Okay, so now what we need to do is go to our backgrounds, and so I'm in a different window right now. Bear with me for half a second here, folks, as I get to my background images. Come on, baby. And of course the computer decided to start freezing up right now, of all times, right here on YouTube. The closer you get to the finish line, the more likely that everything's just going to start going stupid. Well, we hope not. Okay, it looks like it's unfroze now, so I'm going to grab this And actually, that's going to be Akari's background, so strike that. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, let's use this. Okay, so we insert this as a new layer. We can just move it around, something like that. And so now this is going to be down here on the bottom. And I do want it to be defocused, so save this. Filter, blur, lens blur, which, by the way, I've become fairly enamored of the lens blur in Krita. It's pretty good, I must say. Okay, so there's that. So now in this layer, let's hit Control-Shift-Insert so we can see it in the timeline. Okay, so all we have to do now, we'll call this background 1. All right, and then what we need to do is here, just hit Insert. Okay, and then copy this over to here. Do we want to zoom it a bit? I guess we probably should. So let's do this. Let's just make it slightly bigger, like so. And so now Mr. Big is taken care of. Admittedly, we're not seeing the other two ninjas in the background, so I need to cut and paste them from another shot. Let's go look here in the number 66. So let's open up 66, File. So let's take this one step at a time. Save our work. Now let's open up 66, Anime Krita 66. And what we want here is these two bad boys who are in the background. So copy this layer, go in here, and let's just go in here and hit paste layer. Okay, and now let's save our work, because when you're doing things like these cut and paste operations, that's when Krita's like most likely to crash inexplicably and stuff like that. So alright, so I'm gonna put these guys back here like so. What the heck that is, I don't know, but that's kind of quintessential Krita, actually. Alright, so they're gone. Alright, ninjas. Let's take the ninjas out. Okay, I see. Okay, so yes, this is where Krita, this is where the shabby, really shabby, just ridiculously crappy programming in Krita becomes obvious, because Krita really doesn't know how to manage the pixel data. I mean, it's a drawing program. It's all about nothing more than drawing and painting, but yet it doesn't know how to manage the the pixel data. Knowing how to manage the pixel data for the drawings, it just seems kind of important to me. Call me a goofball, but it just seems a little bit important to me. So not to pick on Krita too much, but yeah, it's ridiculous. So, but it is what it is. It's not that punitively life-changing. Well, except this. Let's see. We got to hit the opacity and no, we want this to be E key. All right, very good. Okay, so now we're getting there. So I think everything's working except Akari's background. Okay, and now my question is, what in the world? Wow! What just happened? Okay, so guys, here's what happened. When I cut and pasted those images in there, it appears to me that Krita may have destroyed some of the pixel data on Mr. Big. But let's just go ahead and put these guys in a group. Okay, these two here are the reference images for color, so those can be deleted. Get rid of them. And now let's just see what happens. Okay, so what has happened here? Number one, the pixel data for Mr. Big has been destroyed. Look at that. Look at that. There's certainly nothing that I did that should have done that or caused that. So that's pretty ridiculous. But okay, that's what you're gonna do, Krita. Okay, so yes, what it did. Okay, I'm gonna blame this one on me. I'm gonna assume this was my fault, because it looks to me like the ink data from the first frame simply got deleted. So I'm going to have to go back and recover that, and I think I might be able to from the saved copy. So with that, I think it'd probably be best if I stop the video, since we're pushing an hour anyway. So, but there will be more later.